Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So first I'm gonna go through the movie really fast. I'll talk about the things that I do like and I'll talk about the things that I didn't like. And then I'm gonna talk about the reviews that it got because that's like controversial right now, I guess, for some reason. So obviously spoilers ahead, clearly, and let's get started. So the movie starts pretty much with Ant-Man living his life after Endgame. He's written a book about all the stuff that he's been through, pretty funny. And his daughter Cassie Lang is kind of like a freedom fighter kind of type of person. Like, she likes to fight for people who can't fight for themselves. You know, him and the Wasp are together, so whatever. So she's been pretty much building this thing that's been communicating with the quantum realm. And then next thing you know, the whole family gets like sucked in the realm. So then they get sucked into the quantum realm and now they're stuck in a small universe that they didn't know it existed, and there's a lot of other aliens that are in there. So a lot of people were comparing it, it's like kind of like Star Wars. If Marvel did Star Wars, I could see that. A lot of people were doing that comparison. It was pretty cool. They did somewhat of a better job than Star Wars. And so they're going through there, and then the Wasp's mom, I can't really remember her name right now, but she pretty much knows the whole area. So she meets up with an old friend, but that old friend, Bill Murray, seems to be a traitor. So then he dies by some creature eventually, and then they meet Kang, but then also Ant-Man and Cassie, because they get split apart. So it's Ant-Man and Cassie. They meet up with an old person that they knew, which is the first villain from Ant-Man, and he's now become MODOK. I just gotta say, my favorite part of this whole movie was MODOK. Everyone's like, oh, he was cringe, he was weird, but it's just like, that's what he's supposed to be. So I don't know, I really liked MODOK here. They did change his origin story, obviously, but I liked it. He was probably like my favorite character of the whole movie. And MODOK is pretty much working for the main villain of the movie, which is Kang the Conqueror. And you know, I'm not gonna go over who Kang is. You have to like pretty much watch Loki, the show, to know who he is. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be the next big threat after Thanos, but he's a really scary guy because he has advanced technology and he's super smart, and there's a lot of him, so that's what makes him very terrifying. For God's sakes, even Loki was scared of him, so that's gotta tell you something. So Ant-Man and Cassie get captured by Kang, and then Kang says, I want you to get this engine to power my time machine, or his little thingy-mabob. And then he goes and does it. And then it was a pretty cool scene because when he goes to go get it, he goes through this thing called a possibility storm, and it's just a bunch of possibilities of him. I just gotta say, Paul Rudd carries the movie. He's just a very good actor. He's very charismatic. So obviously without him, I think the Ant-Man movies wouldn't be so good. He gets the engine thing, the Wasp finds him, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp try to take down Kang, and they can't because he's too overpowered. And then they try to leave, but then he goes like, oh no, Kang has Cassie. And then they go get him back. There's a pretty cool scene where Ant-Man gets super huge. He's attacking Kang's place. There's a whole fight scene with Cassie and MODOK. Cassie wins, and then it's funny because Cassie just pretty much convinces MODOK. You know, MODOK's like, shit, like, you know, it's not over, we have to fight still. And then Cassie's all like, dude, why don't you just stop being a dick? And then he just kind of has like a change of heart. And then on the last fight scene, Ant-Man and the Wasp are fighting Kang, and then Kang does this like force field thingy. And then next thing you know, Hank has been talking to these ants that also went into the quantum realm, and they've pretty much lived a lot of years, and now they're very futuristic, so they come in clutch and defeat Kang also. And then MODOK has a change of heart, like I said, and he helps defeat Kang. Sadly though, MODOK dies, and I'm just like, ah, I like that guy, but he was pretty cool. A lot of people were saying his CGI face was weird. Yeah, it's weird, but I mean, what'd you expect? I mean, I feel like it's kind of hard to make a giant face like that very believable and realistic. You get what I'm saying? It looked okay. It wasn't that bad. Come on, there's been worse CGI than that. But then again, it is Marvel, so I could see people's point of view. So anyways, then they all try to leave, and then Ant-Man's the last one to go, and then Kang is still alive, all beaten up by the ants. They have a fight. He destroys Ant-Man, but then the Wasp comes in the portal, and she helps him. Kang dies, I think, and then the movie ends pretty much. And the teaser is that there's more Kangs, obviously, and he was like a very evil Kang, excommunicated by the other Kangs. So that's pretty much it. Now, I like Marvel, so maybe my review about it is biased. I accept that. But a lot of people tend to give Marvel movies a bad rating just because it's Marvel. And you know, first I'm gonna side with like the haters a little bit. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Yes, there's a lot of Marvel movies and it is oversaturated. There's Marvel things each year. Clearly they're milking it. No one's denying that. And, you know, sometimes the CGI looks bad. You know, Marvel has one of the biggest fundings, so it's kind of stupid how they get bad CGI and then next thing you know, there's someone on YouTube fixing up the CGI, and that's extremely embarrassing. That's happened a good amount of times. I could see why that's kind of cringe on Marvel's side. I could see how Marvel tries too much to be funny in movies, and it does kind of become cringe. Like, for example, I didn't really like Guardians 2. I like Guardians 1, but I didn't like Guardians 2 a lot because it felt like they were trying too much to be funny and it came out as cringe. But something you gotta realize is that they're making these movies for kids also. Let's be honest, there's a lot of man children watching these movies, but there's a lot of kids watching these movies too. So, you know, you gotta take that into account. But this movie was pretty freaking good. I don't see why websites like Rotten Tomatoes, God, I did not like that website, give it a 48. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Do you know what a 48 is? You're pretty much saying the movie's a 4 out of 10. I think with their rating score, I saw this online, I could be wrong, but they're saying it's the worst Marvel movie. Really? That's the worst Marvel movie? How is this the worst Marvel movie? And then if you see the audience score, it gives it an 84. Me personally, if you're gonna listen to people's reviews, ignore the critic review and just look at the audience score. If the audience score is good, it's a good movie. If the critics say it's a bad movie, who cares? Who are they? It's just like a few people. Are you gonna listen to 100 people, or are you gonna listen to like thousands of people? You get me? There's a lot of people, I'm not gonna name any names because I don't want any drama, but just let's say he's short and has long hair, and he reviews a lot about things, and he's a cool guy. He said that Ant-Man and the Wasp is a 5 out of 10 because, one, the CGI is bad and it's not funny. And it's like, okay, so screw it, I'm gonna just say his name. It's Moist Critical, right? It's Moist Critical. He said that the movie is not funny and the CGI is bad. So the CGI is bad. Okay, there was a few times where the CGI was bad. I understand that. I don't think just because the CGI is bad, it should be rated down 5 or 6 points. I don't think that's an excuse. I feel like people like Moist Critical are just kind of riding the wave, like, oh, let's see, are people shitting on Ant-Man and the Wasp? Yeah, critics are. Oh, okay, then it's probably like, you know, that's probably the right choice to go with. I just don't think him giving it a 5 out of 10 just because the CGI was kind of bad and it wasn't funny. I just don't think that's a right way to just mark it down 5 points. I feel like it has to have more problems. He did complain about the story and it was kind of like bland. I mean, I don't know what type of crazy story you want. I thought the story was okay. Again, no hate on Moist Critical. I just, you know, I think he's a cool YouTuber. He's very reasonable. He's a very reasonable person, but, you know, I just think his opinion on this movie is very biased, I guess I would say. And like the reasons of him not liking the movie is a pretty dumb reasons, in my opinion, to mark it down 5 points. But again, like I said, if you think the movie was trash, if he thinks it's a 5 out of 10, well, he thinks it's a 5 out of 10, and I guess people agree with him. But again, like I said, you just gotta look at the audience score, man. I'm not saying that like, oh, the audience is like 100% right, but that's almost like the majority of people watching the movie saying it's a good movie, it's a fun movie. When I watched this movie, there was a few parts that the CGI was bad, but I don't think it's nothing compared to like other things that the CGI is horrible. Do you guys remember the Black Panther 1 final fight? Yeah, that was pretty bad. But okay. And then he said that it's not funny. The movie's not funny. I'm not trying to get personal. Moist Critical is cool and all, but his jokes are just evolving around pee-pee and poo-poo and coming. And it's like, those are jokes that I would laugh when I was in 6th grade. Again, that's just my opinion. I don't find them very funny. I've watched maybe 3 of his videos, and the only reason why it's because he is pretty good at covering stuff. Sometimes some people don't cover stuff very well, but Moist Critical is very good at covering stuff. So I guess people will go there to watch him cover things. I don't think people go there for the comedy. That's just me personally. So I don't think I'm gonna go watch his channel for his comedy. I'm gonna go watch it because he covers things good. So for him to say that the movie's not funny, it's just kind of like, okay, well, you're not funny, so, you know, you're saying the movie's not funny, so why does your opinion matter of funniness? But funny is an opinion thing. It's not like, oh, this is funny, everyone in the world, that's funny. You get what I'm saying? Like, I like Bill Burr. He's a comedian. I think he's funny. There's gonna be people in the world that think, no, he's not funny at all. And you know, something being funny is someone's like opinion. I don't think I'm saying it right, but you guys get what I'm saying. That's just me. Don't take my word for it. If you think the movie's meant and you're just gonna listen to critics, that's fine. But you know, if you don't want to take my word for it, go to those websites that you guys see and then look at the audience score. And they're all giving it high 8s. The movie seems to be getting an 8. I saw a few people give it a 7. I personally kind of want to give it a 9, but that's probably me being biased, and I'm admitting it here, because I really enjoyed the movie. And one more thing, I also hear a lot of people say that, this sentence, I enjoyed the movie, but it's the same thing, so it's not a good movie. It's like, so you enjoyed the movie, but just because it's the same thing, by same thing they mean it's a Marvel movie, they're gonna give it a low rating. Yet some of those people love Fast and Furious, and they're already making their 10th one. And those things get higher scores sometimes than Marvel movies. So I'm just like, okay, so you don't like Marvel movies because it's the same thing, but you like Fast and Furious because it's the same thing? That's just some people. I've seen a lot of people. That's not everyone. I'm not saying everyone likes Fast and Furious. I'm pretty sure people are starting to dislike it. It's very corny and kookily. But that's all I'm trying to say. So, me, I give this movie a 9 out of 10. I really liked it. A lot of people don't like Ant-Man because he's Ant-Man. But I'm pretty sure Marvel has already said it multiple times that, like, you're Ant-Man. Like, what? That sounds like lame. That sounds like a lame superhero. So they acknowledge it's a goofy superhero. But, you know, I think Paul Rudd, again, like I said, I think he carries the movie. He's a very good actor. So that's pretty much it. More videos coming soon. Tell me in the comments what you guys think of the movie. Am I wrong? It's not funny. It's just a cringe fest. Maybe it was. Maybe I was in the unique theater room where we all laughed. I'm not saying I laughed at every joke. Jesus. I'm just saying, like, there's some funny parts. There's no way you're gonna watch that movie and go like, nope, nothing was funny. Everything was lame. It's like, come on, you gave it a chuckle, right? You gave it a little smirk. Come on, I know you did. Anyways, that's it. Leave a sub, and I'll see you guys in the next video.